All right, Appendix A, Part 232, Schedule of Civil Penalties. Move of the brakes and the defects improper general failure determination, providing the notification that the defect complete. So Part A, General Requirements. So Part C, Inspection, Testing, and Requesting Requirements, Periodic Testing on end of the train device. Introduction to new brake system technology, electric control, pneumatic braking system. All right. Civil penalties. Appendix B, Part 232, Part 232 prior to May 31st, 2001, clarified effective April 10, 2002. Part 32, Railroad power brakes and drawbars. 232.0 of applicable penalties. 232.1, brake power brakes minimum percentage. 232.2, drawbars standard height. 232.3, power brakes applying for the operating of the power brake system. 232.10, general rules of locomotives. Train air brake testing, train air brake system test, initial terminal road train air brake test, the round train intermediate terminal of the train air brake test, inbound brake equipment inspection, double heading helper service the running test, and a freight and passenger train car brake test, end of the train devices. Alright, 232.0, applicability and penalties. Except for provided in paragraph B of this part, that apply with the standard gauge railroad. The part does not apply with the railroad that operates only with the track inside of the installation, which is not part of the general railroad system of the transportation rapid transit operation of the urban area that are not connected with the general railroad system of the transportation used part of the carrier meaning railroad determined defined below. The railroad means all of the form of the highway grade ground transportation with the run-on rails, electromagnetic guideways, including the commuter and other short-haul train rail passengers service the metropolitan sub-area, urban and two high-speed ground transportation system that connects the metropolitan areas with regard or whether they use new technology not associated with the traditional railroad. Such terms does not include the rapid transit operation with the urban area but not connected with the general railroad system transportation. Any person, including the railroad, with any manager, supervisor, official other than the employee agent, with the violation the requirement of the part of the cause of the violation, such requirement is subject to civil penalty with at least $250, but not more than $10,000 per violation, except that the penalty must have possessed with against the individual only with willful violation, where the gross negligent violation part and repeated violation has created with the imminent hazard of the death and injury to the personnel has to exceed the death of injury penalty not to exceed $20,000 per violation. It may be assessed each of the day of the violation continues to shall be consistent with separate offense. 232.1 power brakes minimum percentage. On September 1st, 1910, on all railroads in interstate commerce, whenever they required with the Safety Appliance Act, in March 2nd, 1903, and any of the train operated with the powertrain brakes, not less than 85% of the cars such train shall have the brakes used and operated with the engineering locomotive drawing such that the train, all brake cars, and every such train which is associated together with 85% shall have their brakes so operated. 232.2 drawbars standard height, not included with the appendix F, moved to 49 CFR Part 231. Power brakes appliance for the operating power brake system. Specification requirements of power brakes appliance for the operating power brakes of the freight service set forth in appendix to report for the further hearing of May 30th, 1945 is hereby adopted and prescribed. See appendix in the part of the order of the docket 135528. Rules and inspection and testing of the maintenance of the air brake equipment. 232.10 General Rules. Air brake and hand brake equipment on the locomotive include the tender must be inspected with maintained in accordance with the requirements for the locomotive inspection of the United States Safety Appliance with unrelated orders, regulation, and Federal Railroad Administration. It must be known that the air brake equipment of the locomotive is in safe and suitable condition and service of the compressor for the compressors must be tested with capacity with the orifice test as conditions may require not less frequently than required law or order of the FRA. The main reserve shall be subject to the test periodically as required by the law and orders of the FRA. E. The air gauges must be tested periodically required laws ordered with the FRA. Whenever the irregularity is reported, there shall be compared with the accurate dead weight test of the test gauge, and the gauge shall be found inaccurate. The defective must be repaired and replaced. F1. Operating all the air brakes equipment together with the air collector, the filter is clean with prepared and tested off in the condition required with maintain them in a safe, suitable condition for the service not less than frequently than the required by the law or order of the FRA. On the locomotive so equipped with the handbrakes and connections may be inspected with the necessary repairs. The often service requires the data being suitably stenciled and tagged. G. The date of the testing clean air of the brake equipment initials of the shop station at which work was done shall be placed on the card to display on the under transparent covering of the cable of the locomotive unit. The H1 minimum of the brake cylinder piston travel must be sufficient to provide proper chute clearance from the brake is released. Maximum brake cylinder pressure piston travel when the locomotive is standing must not exceed the following. Alright, steam locomotive can type of the driving wheel, 3.5 inches over the steam locomotive, the other type of the driving wheel, brake 6 inches, steam locomotive engine truck brake 8 inches, engine trailing truck brake 8 inches, steam locomotive tender brake truck mounted, the tender bed mounted 8 inches, and steam locomotive tender brakes mounted, body mounted 9 inches. Locomotives other than steam driving with a wheel brake 6, swivel type truck brake with a more than truck operated with one brake cylinder 7. Locomotives other than steam swivel type truck brake equipped with a one brake cylinder 8, and locomotives other than steam swivel type of the truck brake equipment with 2 or more brake cylinders 6. Alright, 1-1. The foundation of the brake rigging safety and support where you've been maintained with the safety and suitable condition with the service of the lever, rods, brake beams, the hangers, and pins must be able to strengthen and must not bind with the fold in any way that will affect the proper operation of the brakes. All pins must be properly applied and secured in place with suitable locking devices. Brake shoes must be properly applied with the captain approximately in line, while the tread of the wheels or other braking surfaces is no part of the foundation brake rigging. The safety support shall be closer to the rail specified in laws ordered by the FRA. J1. The main reserve leakage from the main reserve air reserve related with the piping shall not exceed an average of 3 pounds per minute and test for 3 minutes for the duration made after the pressure has been reduced to 40% of the below the maximum pressure. 3. Brake pipe leakage. The brake pipe leakage must not exceed 5 pounds per minute after the reduction of 10 pounds has been made with a brake pipe air pressure not less than 70 pounds. The brake pipe cylinder pressure of the full surface application brake for the communication of the brake pipe cylinders compress, cylinders close brakes and then remain applied for not less than 5 minutes. The main reserve system of each of the equipment equipped at least one safety valve with the capacity of which is sufficient to provide with accumulation pressure of more than 10 pounds per square inch and above the maximum setting of the compressor by governor. Fixed with the chief mechanical officer of the carrier operating locomotive. The suitable governor shall be provided with a wheel stop at the start of the air compressor within 5 pounds above and below the pressure. 6. The compressor and the governor used with the connection with the automatic air brake system shall be adjusted. The compressor will start with the main reserve pressure is not less than 15 pounds below the maximum pressure fixed with the rules of the carrier will not stop the compressor until the reservoir pressure is increased not less than 10 pounds. Okay, the communication signal system on the locomotive used by the passenger service must be tested and known to be in safe and suitable condition services before each of the trip. Engineman, when taking charge of the locomotive, must know that the brakes are in operative condition, and in freezing weather, drain cocks on the air compressor of steam locomotives must be left open while the compressors are shut off. The air pressure regulating device must be adjusted to the following pressure. Locomotive. Alright, hold on.